Thank you, Naji. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me thanks the organizer for this important event. I think, we enjoyed and benefit a lot during the last 2 days. Personally, I learned the topics we've been choosing. I think it's very important. It's education, industry, energy, health, and I think this is what we need to learn about. However, I hope to be, since this is the last session, I hope to be quick as much as I can. So talking about, the GCC industries. And I will try to, I have a presentation talk about a lot of figures and facts about the GCC, indicating, the ranking and the positioning of the industries in GCC. Then I will highlight about the relationship or the opportunities in Switzerland and GCC as well. Starting my presentation, I will have 3 topics actually to talk about. One is the current status of the GCC industries, the second, the future perspective for GCC industrial sectors, and the third, the Swiss GCC Industrial Investment and Corporation. We'll see some data talking about, the numbers of firms and the volume of investment and employment between 1998 and 2012. When you see here in this chart, these figures give us, the total of investment which reach 336 billion US dollars. This is talking about the total investment in the GCC. Number of facilities, around 15,000 facilities. Creating a job, it's almost 1.34 million job opportunity, which is not the number we are looking for. I think it's still, it's far lower than what we expect. The main sector in this industry is actually, it goes to the petrochemicals and the metals, which reflects when we see it in the large industry and the basics chemicals, especially in Saudi Arabia and some part in GCC. Small and medium enterprise. This is, I think, this is the hot subject. We touch, and my colleagues, they touch base on it during the discussion with Dr. Lama and the others. And I think, the small and medium enterprise or industries, it's very important, actually, and I hope to give some figures here, which the small and medium industries constitute 83.6 of the total industry facility in GCC countries. However, the large industries investment represent 95% of the total cumulative investment in the GCC industrial sectors. Gulf industries by size of investment, we see, the chemicals and the other chemical is the most, taking, the higher volume on that, in that chart. Then followed by refinery petroleum and basic metal and fabrication metal, building material and food industry and the others. Recent growth trends of the world manufacturing value added. There is weak recovery of the world industry, of course, during the crisis in 2008 and 2009. Relatively higher growth of the developing economics. However, the GCC countries maintain positive growth through the last 5 years. The industrial sector contribution in all GCC countries was between 9.5 and 10.5 from 2001 to 2012, with the expectation of year 2008 during the world financial crisis, which represent 8.5, which is not bad. I think it's already, as I mentioned in the previous slide, the position of the GCC is still okay. Contribution from manufacturing sector to GDP 2012. We see here, with oil and without oil, there is some, fluctuation between the countries. The most value-added share in GDP by country group during the 2000 and 2012, we see the data are giving for time point of 2000, 2005, and 2010 and 2012. And the industrialized countries have tendency of declining MVA share. The increased share of service sector in US and Europe due to the outsource of the production facility to developing country. And this is to show the GCC among the other countries, the other regions. This is overview of manufacturing of GCC countries. There's value at constant price of 2005. We see Saudi Arabia accounts for nearly half of the industrial production of GCC, and Qatar became the most industrialized economy in GCC group. Go conduct studies, in 2010 for 2 years. We make mapping, for the GCC manufacturing, and we come up, with what we call it, GCC industrial map. And this map actually identify the missing opportunity or the missing industry, which will be, giving, I will focus for 4 sectors, which we indicate in this map. This is give us, the indication. This 4 sectors, still there is a room, to do it in GCC. The major, the 4 sector is the first one is the chemical catalyst industry, which is considered among the knowledge-based industry, in addition to aluminum, chemical, desalination, and water treatment industries. The second, the metal industry, and there is promising opportunities for the steel and aluminum, while the GCC now in the phase of the building, still the construction phase. I think this industry still have a room to improve in that regard. The other 2 is the processed food industry. There is availability for promising opportunities in the field of production of fooders and result of extracting edible oil, by which the GCC country can expand the poultry industry due to the increasing demand in the Gulf, which the possibility to take advantage of the export opportunities. The last but not least, the non-forest metallic industry. These are the industry that fall under the activities number 24220 and 2432 according to the International Classification 5. And I think this industry is very important, which is depend on the offer opportunity in the field of copper products such as alloy, slides, and sheet, which turns are used in many industries such as automobile and chips and petroleum and energy sector, which is the Gulf needed all the time. Investment opportunity, this is second, the future perspective for GCC. The investment opportunities following are the main finding in the study in the field of investment opportunity. In the basic metals, there are opportunity in the smelters, fields such as aluminum, magnesium, and copper, which required a huge investment and partnership between the public sector and the private sector in the implementation, which opened the door in the investment in many complementary knowledge-based industries. Opportunities are available within the chemical sectors to produce catalyst, building chemical materials, engineering, plastic, etc. In the processed food industries, investment opportunities are available for edible oil extraction, production, as I mentioned in the previous. This is talking about the GCC readiness for the knowledge-based industries, which talk about the high-skill human resource. The comparison of human resource indicator reflect the importance of this resource at the level of quantity and the quality. It also reflects their readiness to implementation. I would say, the GCC still, they need to improve in that regard. The knowledge-based economy and knowledge-based industry, and based, to the indicator. And this also show us, the ranking between, the knowledge economy index, variable education. Also, this one about the system innovation index, they give us, the GCC countries positioning, and we put some countries, the emerging countries, which try to compare between the GCC and those countries. The proportion of the high-tech export of total manufacturing export. We see here the UAE top of the GCC country where export of high-tech commodities accounts for 2% of the total export for the year 2012. While the other GCC needs a lot of in that field. We see in terms of the internet subscriber of the total population in each country, we see Qatar is leading the GCC country in this indicator, followed by Bahrain. Some people, they said, why not Saudi Arabia? Because the population is one, but actually we take it, per, the inhabitants, the usage of this one, we see Qatar is the number one for that field. Government procurement of technology, Qatar also is the highest, is the first in the GCC, followed by UAE and Saudi Arabia, then Oman, then Bahrain, then Kuwait. Government readiness for e-government, United Arab Emirates top the GCC countries by obtaining 0.7344 points, and index guide to the development of the information technology as well, information technology, price and capita income indicators. Some GCC countries rank high among the top 50 countries for the development guide of ICT. Qatar top GCC countries ranking 30 in that field. Global competitiveness indicator as well. The GCC countries are divided into two groups. The first group is Qatar and Saudi Arabia and UAE. I think they made kind of progress in that regard, while Oman and Kuwait and Bahrain need some work in that field. This gives us the result indication of innovation and development factors for global competitiveness. Qatar top GCC country, followed by UAE, and then the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I don't want to take much time because I know that we have other speakers coming, but I will focus on this the last part of my presentation, which talk about the Swiss GCC Industry Investment Corporation. I think there is room, for kind of cooperation, and actually it will contain in the three sector, which is the pharmaceutical and chemical industries. I think the Swiss pharmaceutical and chemical companies are characterized by high quality products. The production of drugs is linked with scientific research and institutions, gathering existing drug unit to form big units. Example, the big merge of existing unit between Sandoz and Sibagigi that formed Novartis. The limited market need for drug productions. Pharmaceutical companies produce special flavor for food products and fragrances, since they are linked with the pharmaceutical sector. And I'm sure there is among my colleagues here that can talk more about this. But I would say the pharmaceutical industries are among the targeted sector that enjoy investment opportunity in GCC countries. because we've seen it, you know, and they're asking for it. According to the result revealed by the industrial map, which I mentioned before, there is increased consumption of for medicine as a result of the fast demographic growth and foreign labor working in the economic development projects. The second thing is the food industry, dairy products, ready-made coffee, chocolate, food, freezing, high-quality food packaging for safety. As I said, you know, food also is also one of the targeted industry sector of the GCC, and I'm sure, you know, there is a lot from Switzerland we can benefit from. The last thing is the electrical and mechanical engineering. This is the leading industrial sectors in the Switzerland. Most of the companies are highly specialized and active in the terms of producing and exporting fine tools, heavy engineering equipment, power generation station, weight measuring machines, manufacturing paper, printing, and mechanical tools. Swiss engineering factories shares the total national export value is 40%. I will conclude my presentation by saying, you know, GCC country can benefit from the Swiss experience in the area of small and medium enterprise. Thank you.